Somewhere in your skull right now, there is a system that has never once been updated. It scans every room you walk into. It clocks every shadow that moves wrong. It can speed your heart up before you've even consciously noticed why. This system has exactly one job: detect predators and keep you alive long enough to reproduce. It has been running completely unmodified for roughly 300,000 years. The predators are gone, the system isn't. Deep in the brain sits a structure called the amygdala, two almond-shaped clusters of neurons acting as the body's threat detection control room. It doesn't reason. It doesn't ask permission from the thinking parts of your brain. It pattern matches incoming information against ancient danger templates and fires a response in a fraction of a second, often before you're even aware anything has happened. For most of human history, this system was tuned to a small set of real, lethal threats. A rustle in tall grass. A shape against the tree line at dusk. The specific silence that falls right before something predatory closes in. Humans who detected these signals fastest survived to have children. The ones who didn't weren't around to pass anything on. That selection pressure ran for hundreds of thousands of years, building an extraordinarily fast detection system optimized for one environment, a world of actual physical predators. Then, almost overnight in evolutionary terms, the predators disappeared. Agriculture and cities removed them from daily life within a few thousand years, an instant compared to the time it takes to meaningfully rewire something this fundamental. The detector never got the memo. When the amygdala fires, the physical sequence is fast and almost entirely outside your control. Adrenaline and cortisol flood your system within seconds. Heart rate and blood pressure spike. Blood redirects towards your legs and arms, preparing for a sprint or a fight that may never come. Digestion slows because your body has no use for processing lunch while it might be dying. Pupils dilate. Hearing sharpens for certain frequencies tied to danger and dulls for others, including, in many documented cases, the sound of someone calling your name. This cascade is sometimes called fight-flight freeze, and it's a genuinely remarkable piece of biological engineering. In an actual physical emergency, it can be the difference between life and death. The problem is this exact cascade also fires for an email from your manager, a late text from a partner, a presentation in front of 12 coworkers. None of those are predators. None require a sprint, but your body can't tell the difference because the system was never built with email or social judgment as inputs. It has one output for significant threat detected, and it runs the same ancient sequence whether the threat is a lion or a calendar notification. This explains a strange feature of modern anxiety. The ancestral environment generated genuine threat signals. Rarely, a hunter-gatherer might face a real predator encounter, only a handful of times across an entire life, with long, calm stretches in between to reset. The modern environment generates threat-shaped stimuli constantly. News alerts engineered to trigger alarm. Notifications that mimic the unpredictability of real danger, closely enough to keep firing the amygdala dozens of times a day. Financial stress that doesn't resolve in a single chase or be chased moment, but lingers for months, keeping the detection system switched on in a way it was never built to sustain. The documented physical toll of chronic stress, cardiovascular strain, weakened immunity, disrupted sleep, is largely the cost of running an ancient acute threat detector continuously, in a world built to keep triggering it. You can see this mismatch most clearly in what humans are biologically primed to fear. Studies on young children find that fear of snakes and spiders gets reinforced far faster than fear of objects that are statistically far more dangerous today, like electrical outlets. That's not because spiders are common threats now. It's because venomous creatures shaped human fear circuitry over millions of years, while outlets have existed for about a century. The same logic explains why fear of heights is nearly universal, while fear of something genuinely far riskier, like texting while driving, has had essentially no evolutionary time to become instinctive. Driving is barely 100 years old. There's a third response that gets less attention than fight or flight, and it might be the most revealing: freeze. When a threat is overwhelming or ambiguous, the backup protocol is to go completely still. For prey, relying on stillness against predators that detect motion, freezing was often the single most effective survival move available. Scan right past the target that isn't moving. This is the same mechanism behind something documented repeatedly in real emergencies. People in burning buildings or sinking cars who, instead of fleeing, simply stop. Survivors often describe this happening to themselves, with genuine confusion afterward, unable to explain why their body refused to move during the exact window when movement mattered most. Useful for a human hiding in grass. Considerably less useful in a stairwell filling with smoke. Perhaps the most unsettling part is what happens after a threat passes. or fails to resolve cleanly. The ancestral system expected discrete encounters. A predator appears, the body responds, the encounter ends, and things return to baseline. Modern stress rarely offers that. A difficult email doesn't end with a clean physical outcome. A drawn-out family conflict doesn't resolve the way a chase does. The system fires and prepares for action, but never gets the clear signal that danger is past, because often, in the ancient sense, it hasn't ended at all. This is part of why researchers studying chronic stress point to physical movement, exercise, even just walking, as a meaningful intervention. It gives the ancient system the one input it actually expects: physical resolution following activation, the same resolution a sprint away from a predator would once have provided automatically. None of this means your body is broken. It means it's running flawless software, built for an environment that vanished thousands of years before you were born. Every racing heart before a presentation, every flinch at a sudden noise, every irrational fear of something harmless, every moment of inexplicable paralysis during a real emergency. It all traces back to the same detection system, optimized for a world of teeth and claws, now running in a world of inboxes and traffic lights. It cannot tell the difference between a predator and a deadline. It was never asked to. Have a happy day.